Hey, I'm Heather and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, this is the place where I coach busy moms who want to grow their business with more heart and less hustle. And today I want to walk you through how I coach myself when my kids are driving me crazy. And I've been experiencing a lot of that lately because here in Manitoba, our kids are doing remote learning for the rest of the school year. Yay! Oh my goodness. And yesterday I was juggling the calls and the assignments and my own calls for work. And Mondays are always a day where I meet with my VA and we talk through the week and the month and what's coming up. And I was trying to do all of that with a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old on calls and a 3-year-old who apparently also needs to be parented. It was a lot. And by the end of the day, I felt so frustrated. My husband got home from work and he did a workout in the basement, and by the time he came back upstairs, I was like, I'm leaving. And I got in my car and I drove to my happy place, Winners. It's about one of the only places you can go right now. And I wandered around in the aisles of things and felt peaceful. And then this morning I sat down, and every single morning I do my 10-minute morning routine. And one of the steps of that routine is for me to actually write out what am I thinking and feeling and how am I showing up because of it. And so I want to walk you through the step-by-step process that I take when I get really upset and how I process the emotion and how I become aware of my thoughts and feelings so that I can show up powerfully in my life. I've been doing this emotional health work really intensely for the last 2 years, and I still get triggered. I still get upset. I still yell at my kids sometimes. But the difference is how I respond to myself when that happens. I used to spin out for days or weeks or even months in self-judgment and shame and guilt. And now it takes me maybe a couple of hours, sometimes even a couple of minutes, to be able to recognize how I'm feeling, understand the thought that's creating that feeling, and then get back on track. I'm going to walk you through the thought model that I did this morning as I was processing what happened yesterday. Very first step is to look at the circumstances of what happened. Our brain wants to tell this whole big story about my kids were acting crazy and I got upset, but that is not a circumstance. The circumstance is the facts. So what happened on a factual level? So for me yesterday, the circumstance was I was feeding the kids dinner and they were asking if they could go in the sprinkler and the hot tub after we finished eating. That's all that happened on a factual level. Now, there was lots of other things that happened all throughout the day, but when I got triggered, that's what happened. They said, we want to go in the sprinkler and the hot tub after dinner. And the thought that I had in that moment, it was very subconscious, but looking back, I can see the thought that I had is that they never stop asking for things. That's what I was thinking in that moment. They never stop asking for things. And the feeling that I had when I thought that was I felt underappreciated. And the action that I took was I went off. I did this whole big spiel about how they're always asking me for things and nobody's allowed to ask me for anything for the rest of the day. And here I am trying to juggle their homeschooling and my business, and they're interrupting my calls, and I still have to work this evening. And what I would love, and this is what I said, what I would love is if someone could ask me one time how they could help me instead of what I could do for them. Yes, I said all of this to my 10, 8, and 3-year-olds. They were all sitting there wide-eyed like, Mom has gone off the deep end. Instead of judging myself for that, which I've gotten pretty good at that now, is that I don't judge and shame myself when I act like a human being with a human brain. I show myself grace. And so instead I was able to just look back on this experience and go, when I'm thinking the thought, they always ask for things and I feel underappreciated, this is how I show up. I show up by going on a tangent, yelling at my kids, expecting them to act like adults when they're just kids. I get frustrated, I shut down, and I run away. The result of that is that I am not appreciating and taking care of myself. I'm expecting them to do it, but I'm not actually doing it for myself. So that is my unintentional model. There's the circumstance of my kids said they wanted to go in the sprinkler in the hot tub. There's the thought I had, which is they are always asking me for things, the feeling underappreciated, the action, yelling, getting upset, leaving the room, leaving the house. And the result is that I don't appreciate myself. And I can see that plainly and clearly, then I can consciously decide if that's how I want to keep thinking. Because the truth of the matter is that how we think creates how we feel, and how we feel causes us to show up in a certain way. So if I don't want to show up that way anymore, the answer is not just to tell myself to do better. Next time, just try harder. The answer is to actually think a different thought, a thought that serves me, a thought that helps me feel the way I want to feel. I keep the same circumstances. My kids said we want to go in the sprinkler and we want to go in the hot tub, and I can think a different thought. They're just kids wanting to have fun. That's it. They're not asking me for things endlessly. They're just kids who want to have fun. When I think that thought, I feel more understanding. And when I feel more understanding, then even if the answer is no, I don't have to get upset about it. I can simply say, I know that it sounds like it would be really fun to do the sprinkler in the hot tub, but tonight it's a no. That's it. Calm, understanding, and still saying no. And when I do that, I show up for myself. I appreciate and take care of myself, because I knew that my capacity at that point in the day was not that I could set that all up for them when I still needed to get ready for a work call that I had that evening. Switching the thought from they're always asking me for things to they're just kids that want to have fun changes the way that I feel, and that changes the way that I show up. This is how I coach myself. I look at the circumstances, the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, and the results. And I decide consciously if I want to stay in that default setting thought that just presents itself without me even trying, or if I want to intentionally think something else that's going to serve me better so that I can show up the way I want to show up for my life. This is how I coach myself, and it's how I coach my clients, both in my group coaching program, Life Launch, and my one-on-one coaching program. Right now, my one-on-one spots are full, but if you're interested in getting on my wait list for the fall, you can go to my website, the link is below this video, and apply for one-on-one coaching. And if you want to get some coaching right now through the summer, you can join Life Launch. This is a group coaching program where you can bring your questions, you can in your specific situations that are happening during the week, just like what I described that happened to me yesterday, and I will coach you through them. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a friend. And if you have any other questions or topics you'd like me to cover in upcoming videos, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you next week.